What is up, everyone? Check out the Comic Outlaw on YouTube. Yeah, drop a like, subscribe, or just hit us up. And now we're doing part 3. Yes, the final part of Rise of the Snake Men. It's the army of Snake Men versus the Eternians. And we'll see who comes out on top as King Hiss makes his move to take down Grey Skulll once and for all and absorb the power of the Elders for himself. Now, He-Man and Zodiac just made up after a little fight they had. An army of snakes will do that. And they're heading for Eternia. And they're planning their strategies. And basically Zodiac says this isn't over. Not by a long shot. But we are going to need help. And that's when they call in the other guys, the masters. And of course, Mechanic does basically the only thing he seems to be good at is stretching his neck out and spying. And Man-at-Arms plans an attack because these snake guys are on foot. Even though King Hiss gives them stamina and strength when they move together, they're still on foot. He gives the Eternians a time to mass a big army. I love those dinosaur robots too, very cool. And you can hear the rumble and the hiss. The rumble and the hiss. For the snake men are coming closer. And they're here. And they stand ready for blood. The Man-at-Arms troops stand ready. And General Khan is happy, for he wanted to destroy them all anyways, hoping they wouldn't back down. Man-at-Arms calls for battle stations and readies his men. And this is just great. This is just a big rumble. I love how Ram Man just gets thrown around. A lot of these different guys, moves gets turned against them. They're not fighting the Eternians when they just had a fight with Skeletor's guys. They're fresh, and they have numbers, and they're fighting on their home territory. They're prepared for the Snake Men. And I love how Man-at-Arms is just a badass and just goes right through that guy. Now, Mechanic tries to make the mistake of fighting King Hiss, and is turned to stone for his troubles, which is kind of funny. Stratos is up there. He gets taken down by another snake who can stretch his arms out. It's interesting how a lot of these snakes have different yet cool abilities like the Eternians. And now it's time for another Eternian, Stratos, to get the wind going. For he controls the wind and he whirls up a bunch of snakes as Many-Faces ducks and gets out of the way. Many-Faces is another favorite of mine. He has 3 different faces. Very cool. And He-Man, of course, continues to fight. I love how he grabs the snake's tail and it just pops right off. To his surprise, of course. And Zodiac's just plowing his way through the snakes. And I love how he grabs the good general here and just beats the tar out of him. I mean, he beats the brakes off of him until he's nice and bloody. And then he gives up the location of Hiss, who is already at Grey Skulll, working on tearing down the doors. And this is interesting. Evil Lynn actually proves her worth here. And they use an old trick that her and Skeletor have used before, combining powers in order to weaken the gates of Castle Grayskull, which is actually the power of the sorceress. And Evil Lynn is still angry about Hiss almost eating her for, her betraying Skeletor and all her troubles, she did to get him out. But now King Hiss decides to go full snake and lets loose his full power after weakening the sorceress. And nothing seems to stop King Hiss at this moment as he's breaking down the doors and the sorceress is weakening. She calls out to He-Man. But will He-Man get there in time? For King Hiss is already pulling down the drawbridge and getting ready to enter, to have the power of the Elders all to himself, to be the true master of the universe. Now, as He-Man steps up, he almost gets blasted in the eyes by this spitting snake. It kind of reminds me of a spitting cobra. And there's our good general, all bloody, still trying to call out for victory before the castle doors are open. And King Hiss is about to walk in and take on the sorceress himself. Now, Zodiac's not having any of this, but Evil Lynn does stop him. I mean, Evil Lynn is a badass in her own right. And she sends out like an energy shield. While King Hiss enters, he tells her to guard the gateway for he has much destruction to do. And there's a sorceress standing atop her throne, waiting for him. And she doesn't back down. She puts up a good fight, but still, she's bitten in the leg by one of his snakes, and she's poisoned as King Hiss enters the chambers of the elders, ready to draw on their power and become the master of the universe. Zodiac, of course, is laying on the ground. He-Man picks him up, but the moment that He-Man's distracted with the general, Zodiac is gone. Zodiac has other plans. He's come for King Hiss and to avenge his brother, and he will not be denied. As King Hiss begins to tap into the powers of the elders, Zodiac stands ready for him. And Zodiac fights him with his staff. As King Hiss momentarily takes advantage, holds him, and begins to gloat, telling Zodiac he's going to send him to the same place that he sent his brother. In the meantime, He-Man runs in, grabs the sorceress, who is gravely injured. As the battle rages on, Zodiac appears with the body of King Hiss, declaring that it's over. Their king is gone. And this is Evil Lynn's chance for revenge, for redemption, and most of all to get back in Skeletor's good graces, because he's going to be pretty pissed off when he pops out of that stone. So she fires this huge electric blast, frying a good amount of the snakes. And of course, all the stone breaks, everyone's free, including Mekaneck and Skeletor's Alpha Blood. Zodiac, of course, throws King Hiss's body over, and the Masters think it's time to celebrate. For the spell is broken if King Hiss is dead. Also, the poison is gone from Sorcerer's veins. But they think, is it over? Is there really peace? Have they gotten rid of all the snakes? Will Eternia have that moment where they can take a breather and celebrate? But even now, in the darkness, there's a hissing, and evil stirs. When will this evil come to pass? We'll find out, won't we? And I'll catch you on the flip side.